Hi, this is Pat Duckworth, the hot woman with cool solutions and the author of the international #1 bestseller, Hot Women Rock: How to Discover Your Entrepreneurial Mojo. And I'm just so enjoying having these conversations with the wonderful co-authors. It gives me a chance to get a cup of tea, sit down here in front of my computer and have chats with all these wonderful women. So today I am talking to Kimberly Mylls, and Kimberly is a master trainer and she helps people set and achieve their goals. Following a terrific career in the advertising and publishing world, Kimberly found her true calling as an independent consultant and national vice president for Arbonne International. In this well-respected position in this premier health and wellness company, Kimberly has honed her skills in the personal growth industry. She's a certified leadership coach and inspires and trains people to do what they never thought possible and live their lives with vision and balance. Kimberly's the co-author of Boys Before Business, The Single Girl's Guide to Having It All. Well, we all need that. And is a featured columnist in Kalon Women's Magazine. So, hi there, Kimberly.
Hello, and thanks for having me on this call.
Oh, I just love these calls. I have the most amazing conversations. It's such fun. So just recapping on some of your story from the book, you had quite the career there in writing and publishing. Tell us a little bit about that.
So I was in the advertising industry for about 20 years, and it was in publishing. I worked in magazines, and I really did love what I was doing. But I also got to a point where I was kind of tired of being tired. I was tired of working so many hours, and although I made a great living, I was tired of making a fortune for somebody else. And I was sort of at this crossroads because I had already worked for what I thought was the best magazines and companies where I was living, and I was like, what am I going to do next? Because my background was in marketing and advertising and PR, and I was at this time and I was introduced to Arbonne by my sister, and at first I was like, I want absolutely nothing to do with this. This is not what I want to be doing. I don't know anything about the health and wellness industry. I don't know anything about network marketing, and I was like, no. But I was really starting to think about what could I do where I could have my own schedule, make the same kind of income that I was making, and really get my life back. Like, I was looking for choices, and I had no idea what I was going to do next. And so just kind of on a leap of faith, I learned a little bit more, and then I just decided, what the heck, I have nothing to lose. And 7 months in, I was almost matching my full-time income working part-time, and a light kind of went off for me, because what happened was I was surrounded by an amazing community of people who had vision, who wanted to empower people and support people. And it was different from my corporate America culture, because in my corporate America culture, I was surrounded by people who were there from 801 to 501, and who didn't want to take responsibility and who weren't there to cheer you on and recognize you. And when I started my business, all of a sudden I'm around these amazing people who have vision and who have passion and who want to do more and be more and serve more. And it was a real dichotomy for me. It was like, I'd go to my day job and I was kind of in a bad mood and tired and grumpy. And then after, I would do something for my Arbonne business and I'd be excited and I'd be around amazing people. And I finally got to a point where I went in to quit my job, and my boss was shocked, and he's like, well, what will you do to stay? And for the first time in my life, I had choices. So I rattled off everything I could think of, from, I just want to work 2 days a week. I want, my health insurance, my bonus, my equity. I mean, I went off, and he went for it. So I ended up working 2 days a week. And then what happened was my friends were like, you know what? We don't want to talk to you on those 2 days because you're always in a bad mood. We'll talk to you on the other days. And I just started to think, you know what, that's not the way I want to live my life. So I quit my job for good and have never looked back. And that was about 10 years ago.
When you find that tribe of people who just make you feel so good, you just don't want to go back, do you, really?
No, and it was, it was so nice to kind of find that tribe, because you're surrounded by people who are lifting you up and people who are encouraging you and recognizing you and just having a bigger vision. And it was the first time in my life where I kind of stopped and slowed down and started to think about, okay, what do I really want? And because I was surrounded by this tribe, like ideas just kept, popping up. And that's what it's so important to find.
So what else have you been doing? Because you've been doing some writing as well, haven't you?
Yeah. So, because I was able to quit my job and kind of find my passion, I co-wrote a book called Boys Before Business, The Single Girl's Guide to Having It All. And it was really for, women who were kind of that 35 and up, who had spent a long time on their career and climbing the corporate ladder and kind of put relationships and their love life on the side. And, my writing partner and I, we decided that there has to be a way where you can have it all. We truly believe that you can have a great career, have a great relationship, and really be a dream team. So we kind of set out to find that plan and find that magic formula, and we did. And so we wrote about it, and it's really just about deciding what you want and putting relationships first, both in your personal life and your professional life, because it's really the relationships that make the magic happen. So we wrote about it. We had a great time. We went on a book tour and really just enjoyed sharing with women everywhere. It's kind of like a controversial approach. We had been taught focus on your career. And we both have great careers that we love and enjoy. We didn't want to sacrifice that, but we also wanted to have a partner and to be a dream team. And so we continue to share that. So that's exciting. That's one of the things. And I did late in life, I met my husband and was able to retire him so he can do something he's passionate about. And that to me is just the beauty of making kind of that career change. Like I would have never been able to have those choices, never been able to get my time back and really have time to just even think about what I wanted to do.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is Pat Duckworth, the Hot Women with Cool Solutions and the author of Hot Women Rock, and I'm talking to Kimberly Mylls. So Kimberly, we've talked a bit about people and surrounding yourself with supportive people. And for me, this is an important part of building that environment that allows you to flourish as an entrepreneur. So how have you built that group around you? What advice would you give to women who want to have that kind of a group?
Yeah, I think this is so important. I love the saying, you're the sum of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. And, I've been in different mastermind groups and, I always look for people who have a different skill set from mine, somebody who I can learn from, who can bring something new to the table. And I think it's so important to continually network and put yourself out in a position where you can meet new people from all kinds of walks of life. And so I think, it's so important to do the things that you love to do the things that you're passionate about, so you can find different people that are part of your tribe and different people who can, bring different skill sets. Like I really believe that because of that, they say that you're 6 degrees of separation from anything you need. I kind of feel like I'm 1 or 2 because I've really just developed a network of incredible women with all different kinds of skill sets and all different types of careers that you can learn from. And so that's something that I'm really passionate about.
Let's talk a bit about mastermind groups. So do you belong to a mastermind group now?
I do. I belong to a mastermind group, and I have a networking group that I'm really involved in. And the mastermind group I really like because it's a place to take an idea, get that feedback, because I'm really big on getting feedback from different people, whether you take it or not, it's always good to hear those different ideas. And, I was taught early on that if you want to be a millionaire, hang around millionaires, or if you want to, be an author, find people who are authors, or whatever your goals or dreams are, find somebody who has done it and kind of lock arms with it. And so I think it's important that if you're looking for a mastermind group, that you're going to find different people, but people that have similar goals and dreams and passions that you do.
Yeah, I think that's so important that one of the things that I would say is find people with the same values. It doesn't matter what industry they're in or what profession they're in. It's about sharing those values. If you're around people who are just totally interested in money, and that's not one of your top values, actually you're interested in development and learning and a bunch of other stuff, it's not going to be the right fit for you. If you can find other people who are, who are going to pull you up, we're not talking about people who, aren't doing so well, but they're lovely people. You're talking about people who are going to help you to develop, and you're going to be developing with them. And yeah, that whole thing about who you spend time with is who you become. It's just so important.
Yeah, and I will tell you, in our book, one of the first couple chapters is about values and defining your values and how to pick those top 5 values, and how from that point to really surround yourself with people who have those similar values, because that is, you're so right, Pat, that is just critical to have those people that are in line with your values that are going to go on that journey with you.
Yeah, and understanding your values, if nobody's ever asked you that question before, what are your values? What's really important to you? It can be a bit of a stumper, you can have to spend some time. There is an exercise in the book and in the workbook that you can do to help you with this. Sometimes you need to talk it through with somebody else, just to get that clarity.
I agree.
I was working with a client last night on this whole thing about values. And I said, one of the ways to know what your values are is to notice what makes you angry. Because something makes you angry, it's transgressed a value.
That's a good point. One of the other things that I really think is important if you want to grow as a person, whether it's professionally or personally, it's to really have an accountability partner.
Yeah.
That is the number one reason that I was able to write my book quickly, to get to the top of my company quickly, because I had somebody that had the same values, and I shared my goals on a daily basis. It was like a 5-minute conversation. Here's what I'm doing. And, having that accountability was absolutely priceless. It really changed the way I did things. It's different than setting goals. It's different than a to-do list. It's something that's really powerful.
Yeah, because sometimes people think, oh, well, if I say out loud to other people what it is I'm going to do, that's enough. No, it's not. Because if you say, oh, I'm going to write a book, you immediately get a bit of a reward from people who go, wow, that's amazing.
Right.
How are you going to do that? But if you're not checking in with them regularly, you can think, oh, well, I'll do it next year. Oh, yeah, I am going to write the book. It just might not be this year.
Right.
It's not enough just to say to other people that you're going to do it. You need to commit to somebody, and they need to hold you accountable. So, yeah, that is such a good point. Don't just say you're going to do it. Get somebody to hold you close to the fire on it.
And then I also think, sometimes you can have an accountability partner and it can run its course. A year later, you might find yourselves letting each other off the hook a little bit. Yeah. And so I encourage you to get, to mix it up too.
Yeah. And, not just somebody you think, oh, that would be a nice person. No, you don't want a nice person. You want a nasty person.
You want somebody that's going to push you and, hold you accountable, and that no matter what, you're going to do what you said you're going to do.
I've just got this feeling we could spend the rest of the day chatting, but I'm going to have to say goodbye in a moment. So, Kimberly, if people want to see your website or contact you, how do they get in touch with you?
So they can contact me a couple of different ways. they can contact me by emailing me at Kimberly Mylls, and that's KIMBERLY Miles, MYLLS @gmail.com. They can visit my website, which is kimberlymyls.arbonne.com, ARBONNE, or they can visit our website at boysbeforebusiness.com too. So a couple of different ways, and I'd love to hear from anyone. I'm excited to share more and happy to help other women reach their goals.
Excellent. Thank you so much for being part of Hot Women Rock. I just think, you know, these stories are just so amazing. So thank you for being part of it. And,
thank you.
And to our viewers, keep watching for these interviews. You're going to learn loads from women who have been there before and they've done the hard work for you. So thank you again.
Thank you, Pat.
Bye.
Bye.